Hey everyone, welcome back to Covers and Commentary, and welcome to another episode of Drummer Reacts. Now, we're listening to a song today that I have kind of heard before, but I haven't heard the entire thing, and I also haven't heard it outside of the anime. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about a song by a band called Sick Hack called Watashi Dake Yuurei. I'm so sorry if I butchered that, but I watched an anime a little while ago called Bocchi the Rock, and it is a very, very good anime about music and musicians, and specifically an introverted guitarist who finds herself as part of a band. It has some really great music, but also a lot of insight into music and being in a band and that kind of stuff. There were moments that I was watching where I was like, holy crap, I have actually done those things. Like there's a scene with one of the characters, the drummer girl, and she's practicing her drum pad while waiting for food to cook, and I've done that. So it was really interesting to see. But the band Sick Hack in the anime, they were more of a psychedelic style band. They had a very psychedelic style of music. It was very syncopated, and with this song in particular, this is one they played live in the show. And not only did I just relate to the lead bassist because she was living the adult life that I sometimes live, but also just it was a great song. And so we're going to listen to that together. I'm going to listen to the full thing for the first time, and I'm going to give some thoughts on it because it's a good song. But that's enough of an intro. Let's get into it. I love the bass. So do 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 do. Yeah, it's a really syncopated song. So one of the things too, and we're pausing already, I'm sorry, but one of the things too that I noticed just from the little bit that they put into the song, with the drums in particular, the drummer really has this interesting way of transitioning to whatever symbol is going to be played for the leading beat without really signaling it too heavily, which can be really difficult for the rest of the band, because one of the things a lot of people notice when they're playing in a band is that the drummer kind of stitches everything together, and as soon as somebody else tries to really pull it together, they kind of get outside of the drummer's field and it all becomes a bit of a mess. The drummer holds it all together. I will die on that hill. Come at me, bassists. Anyway, or lead singers. But in this instance, it can be a lot more difficult for the band if you just lead into the next part of the song without really signaling it with one of the cymbals. The only signal we really get is a slightly harder hit on the exact same cymbal that's about to be played as the leading beat. So that's kind of interesting. That means that despite the fact that one of the characters, the lead singer and bassist for the band, is always drunk, she knows her songs very well, at least in this recording. I know it's actually not the real band, but still, kind of funny. Let's keep going. Yeah, it sounds like she just hit the cymbal a little harder. And there's just a straight transition to the cymbal, too. Like, have a listen to this transition again. Wait. So the only sort of notice we get with that is the drum roll. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So the build, sorry, we're just about to get to the chorus, which is a really good chorus, but the build into that relied on the hi-hat a lot and then broke momentarily to go to the ride cymbal and then goes back to transition into the chorus, which the chorus then just hard on either the ride or crash ride. We'll hear that here in a second. Also, that transition into the chorus also was the same to keep parody with the rest of the song, the same as what they used for the opening, which is really cool. You can hear that blah ta ba ta ba. Blats, blats, blah, blah. Yeah. There's a lot of accent guitar going on in the left channel too. Also, I mean, I know it's only supposed to be 3 characters in the band here, but obviously there's 4 because you have a guitar, like a really heavy accenting guitar channel, the lead guitar, rhythm guitar, and then you have the bassist and the drummer. Now, the bassist, the interesting thing with the bass line is that it is a kind of fast but not super complicated bass line. It's essentially the whole way through, and the only times it really mixes up is during those kind of skip beats where it changes and they kind of overlap with one another to go to the next part of the song. So like here, so you can hear that it didn't quite, it almost feels like it jumped ahead because it was on, I believe, 3/4. It was either 3/4 or they're playing on 5/4. I can't tell because I've only heard this song twice now, once from the anime and then this time. But whatever time signature they're on, it has enough of an overlap that the play between that can seamlessly go along with the rest of the instrument. And at this point in the song, the guitarist, it sounds like, is playing the same lick as the bassist, which is kind of cool. Oh, I stand corrected. We got a right channel just going nuts. That's a new one. This wasn't in the anime, I don't think. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This just feels like 5/4 timing, which would fit for the psychedelic theme. Something else worth noting here is as soon as it gets to the chorus, whatever the accenting / lead guitar is doing in the right channel is, or what they're doing in the right channel, I should say, is just a very high octave, like high on the frets accent to just fill the space. But because it's pushed off to the left, it really makes it feel like it's the back of the track, as almost just kind of like not a distraction, but just kind of as a, you know, if you notice it, it's cool, but if you don't notice it, whatever, hey, listen to everything from center to right, and that's the whole band. Kind of a neat little accenting tone. And you hear that a lot in other songs, but especially with the way this song is laid out with the 5/4 timing, it's almost more interesting because you almost kind of want to pay attention to hear how they're accenting on this time signature. Oh, they didn't do the... Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I keep pausing because there's just a lot to go on here. I've not really broken down psychedelic style music before. I don't think, I've never done it here on this channel. And I don't listen to it a whole lot, but this is just enough rock, and this anime got me kind of interested in this style of music a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that, I mean, it makes sense. There's still some things where, like, transitioning into this next section where it's the second chorus, presumably the, halfway mark, or the second chorus of presumably 3, that the drummer doesn't do the phlegm to the hi-hat, that blats, blats, blat, like they did before. Oh, that makes sense too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5/4 timing. I'm an idiot. Anyway, let's move on. Let it breathe. Yep. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa! 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Wow, that's a transition into a... Wow, that's one way to go into a bridge. Holy cow, that's one way to go into a bridge. All right, one more. Da, 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 da. Yeah! That really builds the energy to the bridge. Normally you want to bring it back. They just drop it for the bridge, so they build up the energy to just kill it. I like that. So you get this just like drops. Yeah. The only thing we get in the background is the guitar. Which that side guitar has been moved to the center of the track now. This is such an interesting song. This is getting added to my playlist 100%. Build it. God, building on 5/4 timing is such a pain in the butt. And I just missed where they hit it because it's a pain. You can't. If you're super familiar with the song, building in 5/4 is fine. But when you're still practicing on a 5/4 timing song, or even 3/4 timing, basically anything that's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, it can be such a pain in the butt to time your fills and builds and everything. It's like. Yeah. Whoa! Wow! Dropped right into double time. Holy cow. That's insane. Wow. That is impressive. And then back to what we've heard before. Also, I've been focusing so much on the instrumentation in this. The vocals in this are really, really interesting. And something I've noticed through the entire thing is, like, obviously it's meant to be this kind of like da 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 da. It's meant to like lull you in with the music, with the vocal stylings. But also something that they play around with a lot while she's singing is the reverb and echo on the voice. We'll go back here in a minute and listen, because this is going to be a longer video. But yeah, we'll go back here in a second and listen. But there's a lot of echoing on the voice that comes up during the bridge and then kind of in the middle during the verse and then down on the chorus. Kind of cool. All right, we're going to... Oh, okay. All right, we're going to go back here and... Da, 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 da. Yeah. We heard that with Crime and Punishment earlier this week, actually. Wow, that is... So that's something that you would have to do live. Like, obviously they recorded it, so it kind of worked, but like that is something you would have to do live where it's like, do-do-do, everybody looks at you, boom, and then you hit it. Because, man, trying to time that to a click track is a nightmare. Oh, that is such a pain in the butt. But anyway, so we're going to go back here. I want to point out some of the things with the vocals since I've neglected the vocals most of this song, but you can hear the reverb changing with the vocals. So if we go to like a verse portion here. Not a whole lot of reverb. Just enough, and a good bit of echo. Sorry, I had that backwards. Not a lot of echo, good bit of reverb, which is that kind of resonance you hear in the back. But you hear that with this chord or with this verse. And it's just low enough in the track that the instruments kind of bury it once they really kick in, which is fine because it's meant to accent everything else. But then when we get to the chorus, it's only noticeable when when the actual, it's only noticeable when it's just her singing, because for portions of this you have either, and I can't tell if it's a lower there's a lower one, it sounds like that, or a distortion, but it sounds like there's some sort of overlapping lower vocals, and then you have a much higher, it might just be an octave jump. I don't think it's harmonizing. I think it's just an octave jump to the vocals in the background. You can hear it here. No, it is harmony. Yeah. I stand corrected. It is just harmony. I was focusing too much on the rest of the instruments earlier. It is just the harmony, and it works. But either way, the harmony kind of helps, so there's not as much reverb or echoing on the chorus, because there's reverb in the back. Only enough reverb to really make the vocals sound pleasant. But then if we get to the bridge here, I think it was around this area. All right, here. Tons of echo, a lot of compression, and an echo. Yeah, there's almost like a not a fuzz. There's almost, well, there's a and then as soon as it starts kicking in again, we get rid of the compression and we keep the reverb. With a bit of harmony. So if you noticed, when it got out of the bridge and started getting into the pre-chorus before hitting the chorus, you'll notice that the last bar, the last two bars of that bridge, her vocals sounded more full, sounded more sounded more full again. That's because they kept the reverb on it, and presumably the echoing, and removed the heavy compression that was put on it, which worked really well. Man, there's so much to break down with this song, but I think I'm going to call it there. So much to talk about. I like I said, I haven't listened to a lot of psychedelic style music, and Bocchi the Rock was one of the first times I really listened to something like that. So definitely a good song, definitely a good show. You should go watch it. It's a really, really good show. It's, I think, like 12 episodes, and if you've ever played in a band ever to any extent, there is something in there that you will key in on and recognize. I guarantee it. But either way, that's been it. Thank you all so much for watching this much longer than normal video. Leave some comments down below letting me know what you all think. Do you like this kind of music? Do you like these longer videos where I really dive into some of the nitty-gritty with these songs? Or, should I just shut up and listen to the whole song the whole way through? Some comments down below, some calm, rational discourse, as they say. And of course, if you do enjoy this kind of content, make sure to leave a like so that the YouTube gods know that you like it and more of it gets recommended. And of course, if you really enjoy it, you can always subscribe so you don't miss it. And you can also hit the bell so that you're notified when it comes out. But that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for being here, and have a good one.